Adidas is a sportswear company. They make great hoodies and pants and shoes and clothing and everything. I like Adidas. Actually, no, I love Adidas. You can tell by looking at my outfit in almost any previous episode of this show. I won't even let my girlfriend wear my Adidas hoodie. That's how much I love Adidas. That being said, nothing's without a sin. Adidas was founded by a guy named Adolf Dassler in 1924. He was born pre-World War II, so let's cut him some slack for being named Adolf. But not enough slack to avoid giving him a sin, especially when you consider that his father's name was Christoph von Wilhelm Dassler. Adolf's older brother Rudolf, actually, hang on, the Dassler parents named their children Adolf and Rudolf? What the fuck? Did they just decide that two original syllables would be way too hard to remember? Anyway, Adolf's older brother actually started Puma, which pretty quickly became a major competition for Adidas. Not exactly the normal kind of sibling rivalry, but hey, if you can make billions of dollars while trying to outdo your brother, go for it. Now, I get that many startups go through name changes. It's bound to happen every once in a while. But Adidas is special. You see, it used to be called dassler schuhfabrik. That wasn't a German accent. I don't know what that was. So basically, dassler schuhfabrik. What even is German? The name was pretty quickly changed to Adidas. Have you heard the rumor that Adidas stands for All Day I Dream About Sports? Yeah, no, it's just Adolf's nickname. Adi mixed with the beginning of his last name, Das. Wow, how creative. I guess not all Adolfs can be artists. Here's a fun little tidbit I found while researching. It's obvious by looking at the Wikipedia page that Wikipedia, Adidas, and rugby have a strange passive-aggressive love triangle thing going on. You've probably heard bits and pieces over the years about how some companies use sweatshops overseas to mass-produce their products at a fraction of domestic costs. Adidas isn't any different, but their shady business started way back in 1952 when they bought the 3-stripe trademark for 2 bottles of whiskey and about $2 grand. The company they bought it from, Carhu? They still make sportswear. They're actually pretty good at it, but their marketing has never recovered, unless you really like M's on your sneakers. Bill Anderson is Adidas' head of environmental and social affairs. Essentially, he's an ethics manager. When a story came out about Adidas paying its workers far under living wages in developing countries, Billy wrote an article on the Adidas corporate blog defending a so-called poverty wage. If you don't quite understand how ridiculous that is, just picture this. Your mom catches you stealing cookies from the cookie jar. Instead of apologizing, you tell your mom all of the reasons why she doesn't need the cookies, why the cookies aren't really hers in the first place, and how cookies are bad for her. Also, that you're really helping her by taking the cookie. I now declare this sin a double sin for being a terrible thing to do, and also making me use a cookie jar analogy. The first line of this article describes the bad press Adidas had been receiving as not so positive news. You know, some words have opposites to avoid this awkward situation. This not normal way of writing things situation. Billy then refers to wage setting as a not so easy to address topic. He can't even admit that something is difficult for the company, or he's never seen a thesaurus and genuinely can't think of easy's antonym. I bet you he doesn't even know what an antonym is. What a pleb. Oh, you don't know what an antonym is? Well, see, it is the word that means the opposite of another word. Sin for making me give an English lesson. In between hyphens, he basically blames the news cycle for the public outcry, saying that things have been like this for a long time and people only really care about it right around the Olympics because Adidas is the official sportswear partner to the Olympics. Or at least they were in 2012. That's obscene. Absolutely obscene. It's like, it's like the president blaming people on Twitter for digging up his old, polarizing, racist, false, and embarrassing tweets instead of taking the blame on himself. Thankfully, that's a completely hypothetical analogy. Attached to this article is this infographic, which explains how much it costs to live in US dollars in any given country. But you can't see the numbers on the infographic because this is the actual size of the infographic. You can't make it larger. It's small, terrible, and low res, just like the wages Adidas was paying their workers. Some more not so positive news came for Adidas in 2014, when the Dongguan, some call it the Guangdong, shoe factory in China had one of the biggest worker strikes the country had ever seen. The fact that the protesters took the time to make English signs as well as Chinese signs speaks to them knowing their audience. Again, I'm gonna double sin Adidas on this one. Those strikers were fucking prepared. Negotiations were held, some small things were changed, but these people still aren't paid a living wage. Adidas caused a bit of a stir in 2011 when they super overcharged New Zealand for their own national rugby's team jersey. While the replica jersey only costs $80 online, Adidas forced retailers to sell it at $220 on the island itself. That's almost a 300% markup. When people started complaining about the All Blacks jersey price, Adidas released this statement. "We're comfortable our price to the local retail trade is a reasonable one," which makes no sense. If the public is complaining that your prices are too high, then your prices are too high. They are the local retail traders. They decide what prices are reasonable. That's what they do. They're the ones who are stuck with a stupid ass rugby team name, so at least let them buy it without the added shame of a $220 price tag. I just realized that I haven't yet talked about their shackle shoes. Yes, you heard me right. Adidas created shackle shoes. And yes, they are literally exactly what you think they would be. Shoes with shackles. These shoes were quickly dubbed slavery sneakers by over-attentive Facebook SJWs and were instantly pulled from production by Adidas. The best part? They're ugly as fuck. Seriously, they look like a Halloween Happy Meal toy. They had laces, Velcro, and shackles. Unless someone in the research and development department there has a super specific Nickelodeon-themed BDSM foot fetish, it's kinda overkill. While not as offensive, Adidas also sells these terribly ugly pseudo moccasin shoes for $200. And somehow the fact that these are men's shoes makes this so much worse. Now, if you were to buy any of these things, you would most likely be added to Adidas' email list. In 2017, Adidas sent out an email after the Boston Marathon to congratulate the runners, with a subject line reading, "Congratulations! You survived the Boston Marathon." Either it's a super dark joke referencing the Boston Marathon bombings in 2013, or actually, no. That's pretty much all it could possibly be. Badly done, Adidas. Badly done. And finally, we all remember Kendall Jenner's Pepsi commercial, right? The one that sparked extreme social commentary? Well, Adidas didn't remember because they released a new ad featuring Miss Jenner on August 10th. There's technically nothing wrong with it. I mean, they could have used, I don't know, an athlete to promote their sports brand, and they could have taken into consideration the fact that Kendall is a bit of a black spot on the commercial landscape, and that no one really likes Kendall. Can we just send them for being associated with Kendall Jenner? Yeah, let's do that. Also, this is such a lame ad. Is she just sitting in a blue vagina? Is she Captain Steve Rogers returning to life after cryosleep? Is she waking up from the Matrix? Are we in the Matrix? Is that what Adidas is trying to tell us? Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Not again. Not again.